Hey guys, so I know you guys like these videos, so that's why I continue to do them. We're going to be doing some dupes. Okay, so first we have got the MAC Shape and Shade Brow Tint, which is $21. Oh my god, that is a lot of money for an eyebrow pen. Versus the NYX Eyebrow Marker, which is $9.99. Okay, now obviously I can't see what the colors are like. They haven't got any swatches here, but the pens themselves look very, very similar. I must say that the MAC one looks like it is a lot thinner and a lot sharper than the NYX one. So I guess if you wanted a real sharp, thin lined, like feather look, natural look, brow, maybe the MAC one might be for you. But if you're not as fussed, I guess the NYX Eyebrow Marker could be a dupe. I'm sure that both of these products come in a wide variation of different colors. I'm sure it's not just these shades that they're showing. Well, we can't even really see what shades they are because there's no swatches. I'm sure they come in more than just one color. So I'm even quite interested in the NYX one. I might head over to NYX and see what they're saying, see if I can get my hands on it. Next we have the Colourpop Fudged, which is $6 versus the Kylie and Jordan Partner in Crime. This is similar, but not 100% a dupe. Now, of course, skin tone is most definitely a factor when it comes to lip products and how it looks on the lips. But here, it looks like the Kylie one is a little bit more peachy and the fudged one is a little bit more nudie. And taking into consideration that the lip shapes and volume of these models are very, very different, but color wise it just looks like the Kylie one is just a little bit peachier and the Colourpop one is a little bit more nude. So I guess that's just down to personal preference on what you prefer. Then we have the KKW Beauty 7 Deep Violet versus the Colourpop Sachet. I don't feel like this is a dupe. I feel like the KKW one is more of a deep berry, and even though the Colourpop one is purple, it's not a berry purple, if that makes sense. It's like the KKW one has like red throughout it and the Colourpop one doesn't, and also the finish is very, very different. The KKW one seems to be a little bit more on the glossier side. It's not glossy, but there's a shine, and the Colourpop one seems to be a little bit more on the matte side, even though it's not completely matte. I don't see this as a dupe. They're both very, very beautiful on their own, but I definitely do prefer the KKW one because I love the reddish purple vampy kind of look. I'm feeling that. Then we have the MAC Bubbles Please, which is $29 versus the Colourpop Thumper, which is $8. This is a dupe. That's great to say. Yeah, this is most definitely a dupe. Now these look like they are blushes. I do not go for pink blushes like this. I think I could pull it off. Like if I just did it like a little flush, not like bright. If I did like a little flush of pink, I could pull it off. Like on one of those no makeup days. Like I just wanted a little bit of colour in my cheeks rather than, you know, a full thing. Yeah, this is a dupe, and like, considering that these are not my kind of colours, I think if I was to buy this colour, I would definitely go for the Colourpop one because I know I won't be drawing for it every single day. Then we have the Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder, which is $46 versus the Honest Beauty Blurring Powder, which is $19.99. I think this is the first time I've ever heard of Honest Beauty. I haven't heard of them before. I haven't ever seen anybody try the Hourglass powder, so it would be interesting to see how these do perform, especially as they're supposed to be like blurring and stuff like that. Like I love blurring primers, powders, all of that kind of stuff. I love that. So I can't say whether or not these are a dupe. The only thing I can say is from these pictures, the Honest Beauty one looks yellow and the Hourglass one looks a little bit more flesh toned. I don't know if the color of the powder affects the way that it performs on the face, I don't know. Okay, so now we have the Kylie Woods lipstick, which is $17 versus the Maybelline Toasted Truffle, which is $5.49. These are close, but I think that the Maybelline one is a little bit more on just like the brown chocolatey kind of side, and the Kylie one is more like of a brown with a red undertone. I prefer the Maybelline one. I think that the Maybelline one would suit me, like just color wise, would suit me a lot better than the Kylie one would. I can't say that these are 100% a dupe, but I know that potentially if you were to wear one day and the other the next day, would people really notice that they were different? Probably not. Not that we really care what anybody else thinks. Like, oh my gosh, that reminds me, I remember just the other day I was walking down the street and there were these girls, and like they were just like young girls, or probably like in their late teens, and there was some guy, he was walking down the street with his, I think it was his son, and he's struggling to push this child because the child was quite a big child, and he walks past these girls and he's like, they're wearing way too much makeup. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you so concerned with what they're wearing on their face when you are struggling to push your, sorry, but your overweight child in a buggy? Priorities much? Now, don't get me wrong, it's not the child's fault, because the child is in the care of the parent, and whatever happens with the, you know, it's the parent's prerogative to deal with their child and care for their child. But quite frankly, I wouldn't be worrying about what somebody's wearing on their face when I think you have things to deal with your kid. Sorry, those kind of things really irritate me. Like, dude, get your priorities straight. Anywho, the Colourpop CA Dreamin' versus the Dior Warm Sunrise, which is $48. Like, that's a lot for a bronzer. These do look quite similar, although I think the Colourpop one is a little bit more on the warm side. Just a little bit more on the warm side. And you know what this kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the Hoola Light, just a little bit, like the Dior one. It reminds me of the Hoola Light, but I think they are very, very close. Then we have the Makeup Revolution Golden Kiss, which is $9 versus the Becca Gold Lava, which is $38. The Becca one seems to be a little bit more bright, a little bit more beaming, a little bit more pigmented. The Revolution one, in this swatch, it just seems to be a little bit chunky. Color wise, they're similar, but quality wise, I don't think that they if I had to buy one or the other, it would be the Becca one, because that Revolution one just, it's not hitting the mark for me. I'm so sorry. Then we have some bronzing brushes, some fan brushes. I don't really have too much to say on these personally, because they just kind of look like fanned out bronzing brushes or blush brushes, because they're not just the regular fan brush. They're not. The cheapest one is the Colourpop one, which is the one at the very, very bottom, which is $11. And then the top one, which is from Tom Ford, is $115. Oh my gosh. Okay, and we're going to leave it off with the Lancome Longwear Foundation versus the No. 7 Stay Perfect Foundation, which is $15.99. I haven't tried either of these. No, wait, hold on. I think the Lancome one I had like a sample one of this, and it, like the perfumey smell. I think it was this same foundation. I did not like it because of the perfumey smell, and it made me break out because it had so much fragrance in it. My skin just did not like it. So if the No. 7 one is the same in that respect, I'm just going to stay away from it. I would like to find out whether or not this No. 7 one has that fragrance, or if it's just the same in regards to the finish, the wear, like that. But if it's like fragrance, mega fragranced like the Lancome one, I wouldn't, definitely not be able to deal with this. So those are all of my dupes that I have. I've got a ton of dupes, but I know I can't sit here and just do dupe after dupe after dupe. You lot will get so bored. Or maybe you wouldn't, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna like take my time with all of these dupes, okay? So anyway, tell me down below what you think, whether or not you're going to be getting any of these, whether or not you agree or disagree that some of these were dupes or not. And what do you think about people who have an opinion on what other people wear on their own face? Please tell me. Anyway, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.